Well, hello everybody, and welcome to my Minecraft Skyblock tour. As most of you know, I just started a series on this new Skyblock server, and well, I thought I'd give you guys a tour because if you want to join, it can be a little tricky to find some things sometimes. So I thought, well, I might as well show you where some of the things are and how some of the things work on this server. So to get started, as soon as you spawn in, you'll spawn right here. This will be this is like the main spawn area. So from here, you have a few different options. The first one we'll go to over here is the rules and info. So if you go over here, as you can see there, it shows all of the guides on how to do some stuff, the actual rules of the server, some of the different commands over here, which I will go over in a minute as well. And I just wanted to point out this section first because as soon as you get on this server, you can get in trouble if you end up violating one of these rules because you never read one of them or didn't understand it or something like that. And then if we go this way, back towards the regular spawn, you can see over here, this is where you can get to the nether. There, it's all labeled, so you can pretty much find any way you need to go, no matter what. But this way, if you go into the nether, then you can. I was just about to say, watch out for gas because they will spawn. Piglins will spawn, pigmen will spawn. But you can come over here, you can sell items that you pick up from the pigmen and ghasts and stuff, and then you can also buy items over here. And then if you want to get back, you can just simply use the portal again. Try not to get hit by the ghasts. I don't think their fireballs do actually explode or anything though, because it's all of that like explosions and stuff is off. And then once you're back at spawn, if you go this way up this hill, this is where your shop is, which I won't like go through this whole thing, but there's also no blocks playing here. I always forget about that. It always surprises me. But anyway, here you can pretty much buy anything you need. There's saplings, plenty, food, all sorts of different blocks, stuff like that. And then there's multiple floors as well. So you can go up the different floors, you can explore all that. You know, I love these note blocks. I know I'm gonna fade out of it in a second, but and then back from the spawn, if you go right over here next to the regular shop, you have the cave shop where you can get all of the different cave items. For example, like deep slate, dripstone, the pointed dripstone stuff. Even stuff like powdered snow, which for some reason that's upside down. Fixed. Then you can get some stuff like this. The amethyst shards you can only sell, which I'm still curious about because I don't actually know how to harvest those. And then like you have your berry bushes, your glow berries, your moss blocks, stuff like that. Anyway, we come back out of here now. Back at spawn, you now have two different ways to go right here. If you go towards this windmill, you can see it's the parkour section. This, I've never completed it myself, but it is quite long, so that's really kind of why. But as you can see, you can go all the way down here, and then you can parkour throughout all these caves. It goes way back over there, probably under the map, around the map, all around spawn. And then if you come back up here one more time, you can see you have these crates. The crates are a little interesting. So you have three different crates. These are vote crates. So what you can do is, if for example, if I do /vote, I have this off, but if I look at here, you can see it shows you the website, and if you go here, you can vote, and pretty much all that does is you can put in your username, and then it'll give you keys in game, which are just they look like feathers, but they'll be labeled vote keys, and then you can use them on this chest, and then you have a chance to get mob keys from those. And from the mob keys, from the mob crates, you can get things such as mob spawners, eggs, stuff like that. So the mob spawners are really good because there's a currency in this game. It's just money. So as you can see, I have almost $3 million, or I guess it's in pounds technically. But You can use the spawners and stuff to spawn animals, and then you can kill them and then sell them at the shop, which is another thing you can do at the shop that I didn't mention, is you can sell items, which is pretty much how you'll make all your money. And then every once in a while, there will be an event. You can do slash event, and as you can see, there's no event right now. And then if you win those events, you can get rare crate keys, and you can get things such as tridents and rare items out of those, obviously. So those are pretty cool concept. It is a little hard to understand once in a while. But over here we have the enchantments. And so how the enchantments work, if I had a regular tool I could show you, but all mine are enchanted already. If you have money, you can right click on these and it'll put it automatically onto either your armor, your tools, your fishing rods, stuff like that. You can't really enchant like your tridents and stuff yet. That is probably something they will add, but it is good to know. And that's pretty much the whole spawn. You can explore it because there are a lot of other buildings. For example, there's also some parkour to buildings up there and stuff like that. But from here, as you can see right here, it'll say if you're new here, you can do slash is create to create an island, and then do slash is spawn to teleport to it. So then, for example, if I do slash is spawn, now I will go to my island, and I'll immediately be right here. So if you're starting out, you have a very small island. I've just built it out this much, and I've built plenty of things like this ship, these houses, the trees, the floor, really everything here. And you can do a lot of different things. For example, like if I didn't want to spawn directly right here, uh, uh, when I go to my island, then uh, I'll go up here to show you. There's a command you can do to change the spawn point. So if I go up here, this is actually where my spawn point should be, but I had it moved. So you can do slash is set spawn, and then now your spawn will be set right here. So wherever you're standing at. And then there's a lot of other cheats, not I wouldn't call them cheats, but commands that you can use. For example, if you do slash is settings, this is how you set up a lot of the stuff on your island. So for example, you can add members to your island. So now you can do only members can enter, which just means random people can't visit your island, which I'll show you how to visit islands in a minute. PvP enabled just means that people can attack each other on your island. Weather enabled, obviously all these are pretty self-explanatory. Um, and then visitors can place blocks and stuff. Usually you would want these off because you don't want random people visiting your islands and then griefing things, which is what members are for. And then spawn protection radius, stuff like that. So you can do slash is add, I believe, and then whatever the name is, to add people to your island, and then they'll become a member of your island. And then you can also do slash members to see who, I guess it's not slash is members, and then it'll show you, you can do add slash remove. If you do this, it'll show people who are on your island, people who aren't on your island. So every time you pop up this menu, it shows everybody who's online and people who are already like a member of your island. So you can see they're the only other two people online right now, and they are not part of my island, but I could add them if I wanted to. And then if you want to visit other people's islands, it's pretty simple. You do slash is spawn as if you wanted to go to your island, but instead of doing just slash is spawn, you would do a space. And then for this example, I'll use this random person. You would type in their name and then click enter, and then you would teleport to their island. And now you're at their island. You can explore. You can't really break anything or anything like that, unless you are a member of their island or if they have it set so that you are allowed to break things there. So then if I go back to my island, now you can see that because I reset the spawn to be right here, it'll now be right here. And then that respawn protection radius pretty much means that anybody who is a member besides me cannot break any blocks in the 11 block radius around where my spawn point is. Then that's just in case somebody like is trying to grief you and you don't know or anything like that. So it's a good way to make sure that your spawn point doesn't get blown up. So because obviously it's a sky block island, So you don't want to have your spawn get blown up, and then when you try and do slash is spawn, you just teleport into the void and fall to your death. And then there is, I'll go down here and show you. As soon as you spawn in, you will have a small island and it'll have a chest in it and it'll have all your, basic starting items. For example, you can make these types of cobblestone generators and it generates all different types of ores and then you can make them automated, kind of like these ones that I have here, where they'll go down into these hoppers and then they'll go into these chests, which obviously this is an extreme version. You don't have to make it that big. If you're just getting started out, I recommend you really don't make it that big, but because I've been on this for a while, I love making them that big because they're very helpful. And then you have auto smelters, things like that. And then obviously, like I was saying before, you can also get things like spawners, where if I had one, I could show you, but I believe I sold all of mine or misplaced them. You would place the spawner and then you can place spawn eggs in the spawners. So like if you had a pig spawn egg, you could put that in the spawner and you can make it a pig spawn egg. Just remember that if you do place them, you cannot pick them up by yourself. You have to get an admin to pick them up unless they changed that somehow. But as far as I'm aware, I don't think they have changed that. And then those will perpetually spawn animals, obviously, and then you can kill those, especially if you have a fire aspect sword. It'll auto cook the meat, and then you can sell the cooked meat because cooked meat sells for more. And then it's a really good way to rack up money. And then with money, you can buy all sorts of different blocks and stuff, and obviously all sorts of stuff like this. And then you have entire creative ability on your islands. You can make the islands as big as you want. There is a cap obviously. So like on mine is almost the entire cap. Like from your Y coordinates, it goes all the way to the sky limit to the void, but left and right, it is limited. I couldn't tell you how many blocks it actually is, but I do know that my island is right about at the cap. And then if I take you for a little bit of a tour around my island, if I do slash is spawn, as you can see, I'm directly on my boat right here. So if you ever want to visit me, feel free to, and you'll immediately be spawned right here, unless I have the spawn point moved, because I do move it sometimes in case I'm doing something where I have to teleport to a specific location really fast, so I can just immediately go back to that spot by just doing slash is spawn. But anyways, if you want to visit my island, that's entirely fine. This is where you would spawn at, right on top of this boat. If you go down here, there you can look underneath of here. There's not much really. It's kind of poorly decorated. I do plan on changing it a bit, definitely, but not much to look at here. Go back up here, come off of the dock. Then you can see a few different things. Obviously, all these big buildings, but what I wanted to talk about is this wool. This wool is what I use to mark things out. So, for example, this red wool means that this is where I want a road to go, or this path that's built right here. And then on all of these different buildings, I do plan on doing stuff in them. So, like this one is a maze, so you have to find your way through the maze, which I won't show you all the way through that because that would not be fun, and it's not complete. It's gonna go all the way up through that and then through this side. But if I go this way, this is where my shop is, which currently does not have a lot of stuff in it. There's just very few. Oh, I guess my spawners are in here. Oh, I only have spawn eggs. Um, and then in this building over here, this used to be my spawn. This is where I show off all of my riches. Random shovel for some reason, and then my trident, which is these are very hard to get. As far as I'm aware, I'm pretty sure you can only get these from the rare keys. You might be able to fish them, like out of water, but I'm not sure. That reminds me, another one of the island settings is to turn on um let me see if I can find it on here. I believe there is an option to turn on mobs. I don't know where it's at, but I'm pretty sure there's a way to turn on mobs. And then up here, this is where my this is like my to-do list, and then this is a list of islands that I would like to visit. And then if we go down here, these are pretty much the only houses that I've done the inside of so far, except for I think two other ones. So like down here, this is one other one where this is an AFK pool, which it just takes you in a loop forever. So like if you're AFK and don't want to get kicked from the game, this will just take you in a loop forever. Well, it's not a like perfect loop, but it kind of zigzags around this whole thing. So I'll go a little bit faster here just to get out of this. Whoop, there we go. And then over here, these are more buildings. None of these have anything in them yet. I plan on doing things such as like mini games and all of these. This building back here actually already has a mini game in it. It's called Lava Fall. It used to be the most popular mini game on this server. Actually, a lot of people did it. Pretty much these are all the rules. You could pause and look at them if you would like to. But the premise of the game is that everybody would run around in here and you have to try and avoid lava that's falling from the sky. So, me owning the island, I would drop lava on people's heads, and then you'd compete, usually for something like money or diamonds or something that you can sell for a lot of money or rare items. And then coming down the road a little more, you can see all of these cooler buildings. And then this right here is going to be like a big mushroom, but I haven't finished that yet. And then as you can see, all this wool is where I want to put more pads at, which I haven't gotten to doing yet. And then you can see where I kind of change up my build style a little bit. And then over here, all right, let's go across the bridge. There's going to be random chests everywhere on my island because I'm very unorganized, which I do plan on changing, obviously. Over here, this is Cape Bonasorda. That's obviously a play off of Cape Bonavista, if you know what that's from. Or if you know what that is, I should say. There's cake everywhere if you're hungry. I just thought this was a cool kind of like thing to do here. I don't know. If we go back this way, I do have like a little kind of hidden area right here. This is where like I'm gonna flatten all of this out underneath of here because when you're visiting another person's island, they call it block glitching, where you can break blocks and you'll fall through the blocks or like get glitched to the other side of the blocks. And being only one layer thick right here, if you were up top, you could block glitch through this and fall straight through the void. So I'm making this big platform here so that you can't just accidentally plummet to your death into the void. And then if I go back in here, back down here, this is where I have pretty much all of my like money making stuff and all sorts of different, like necessities in Minecraft, like an auto smelter, anvil, crafting table, the mines that I already showed you. All of these wheat farms, which actually are going to be look at this real quick. Okay. All these wheat farms, which they're not very, wheat does not sell for that much anymore. I would say probably the one thing that does sell the most is pork chops at the moment and any types of ores. I wouldn't really recommend doing any farms like this. And then over here I have all of my items. All of this needs to be reorganized. All of this, I'm currently working on deleting all of it so I can put it all above ground. I just had this down here a while ago because I didn't want all of this stuff in my way at the top as I was trying to build out. But now that I have a bunch more houses and stuff that aren't like or that are finally built up, I can actually put stuff in those houses. And then obviously a lot of them I want to put mini games in. And then when we come down here, through here, this is my cactus farm, which once again, these used to be really good, and now they're pretty bad. Like you get a lot of cactus out of them, but they sell for very, very little. You can get almost no money out of that. And we can go back to the top over here. And that pretty much completes this little tour here. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Please come uh, join this server. I'd love to see this server back to its former glory, I would say. I used to play this server a lot around 4 or 5 years ago. It was really, really popular. Almost max out the amount of people on this server like every day, which was around 100 to 130 people. And now, as you can see, there's almost nobody ever on. There's 3 people on right now. I think I saw like 7 people on the other day, which is pretty good. But I'd love to see this server have a lot more people on it because it's easier to host events. It's a cool server. It's easy to understand. Out of a lot of the Skyblocks that I've played, this is one of my favorite ones. The money making method is pretty easy. Making friends on it is easy. Uh, it's just overall really, really fun. So if you want to join, I'll probably put the link in the description for it, or like the server address, and then I'll also put it on the screen right now as well. And yeah, I hope to see you around, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye.